All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first talk of the CentOS Showcase. I'll be talking about the year of the Enterprise Linux Desktop, which might be coming soon, hopefully. A little bit about me. I work in the Linux user space team at Meta. So I don't ask me about Meta products. We mostly work on open source distributions upstream. I've been a Fedora contributor for about 20 years-ish. Oops, I copy-pasted the wrong slide. I used to be in the EPEL steering committee, like I stepped down to do other things. I'm in the Fedora steering committee. I'm a CentOS hyperscale SIG contributor, and I co-chair the new proposed updates SIG. So at Meta, we run CentOS on our fleet, and CentOS is actually kind of great. Stability is great for most servers, and it being open source actually let us actually contribute back changes and get them back sooner than if we are on RHEL and we have to wait 6 months for the next point release for most bug fixes. So CentOS stream is really close to RHEL, like it adheres to the same application compatibility guarantee. I think it's supposed to be a link. Oh God. Anyway, yes. There is a document upstream that I will fix before I upload the slides. Explaining what the compatibility guidelines are. If you are a paid Red Hat customer, you get support from Red Hat. If you are a stream user, like you don't, but you if you know how to fix your own bug, then it's okay. So yeah, we benefit from the same compatibility guidelines, modulo, like sometimes you cannot catch all the bugs. So there might be breaking changes that didn't get caught. So it's great for hyperscalers with large deployments. Hopefully you have your own like a Linux team who can actually like troubleshoot issues. And also like when you get so big, it gets to the point that you need to actually like tailor some components to better suit your needs anyways. At that point, like you cannot get paid support for them. In the hyperscale SIG, we provide a replacement, like more up-to-date kernels with some features added, systemd being backported and so on. I won't go into details because there will be a talk about hyperscale in 1 hour. So stay tuned for that. One thing that we don't have in CentOS Stream is that sometimes if you need a bug fix really quickly, CentOS Stream is basically prioritizing developing the next version of RHEL. So it might not actually have rebases. Yeah, like so rebases like are great. Like you can actually ask to rebase like software, and it will land in stream before it land in like a RHEL. But if you have a critical bug fix, like it might end up in RHEL first, or like even if you can get a feature into like a stream might be like a freeze frozen for like the next like RHEL minor release. So like there are cases where like the update you want, the fix you need might not actually land soon enough for you. So we have this new SIG that basically said, hey, like as long as you try upstreaming a fix, we can consider like releasing it ahead of time. So like so you can actually use the fix without everyone having to like find an MR and like rebuild it themselves and figure out how to deploy them like in a secure way. So so CentOS Stream works fine for like servers with some caveat. How about for desktops? So this is RHEL 10, well, in a VM, and it has like a GNOME 47 because which is already quite up to date because RHEL 10, CentOS Stream 10 was branched from Fedora 40, which has GNOME 46. So there was already like a GNOME rebase in RHEL 10. And this is CentOS Stream 10, but running GNOME 48, which is not what is in stock CentOS Stream 10. It still has a GNOME 47. So like so this is something that I've been working on the side. Right now it's a kind of hyperscale GNOME workstation. The idea is applying the same principles from hyperscale where you backport certain components, but backporting the desktop instead of backporting everything else. So basically, yeah, like you can already run like a more newer like a GNOME apps like via Flatpak anyway, but you cannot swap out the entire desktop itself. And with this repo, you can. The question is, why would you want to? So, so this is the same story that people who use EPEL might be familiar with. By policy, EPEL complements RHEL and CentOS Stream and cannot replace components. And so, like anything that's already shipped in CentOS Stream, you cannot like replace in EPEL. Or hey, like you're deploying CentOS Stream or like RHEL on the server, and you want to basically have a nice desktop to work on, and you want your desktop to be like closer to like the latest GNOME or to Fedora. And yeah, like if you're a sysadmin, like you're like hey, my developers are on Fedora and like we're deploying on CentOS, that means I have to support two OS. And you have to qualify Fedora every 6 months. And with this thing, you can just like qualify every 3 years. Um, and I think this slide is a duplicate. So yeah, like the idea is that this is parallel to the hyperscale SIG normal repos that are meant to be used for servers. Both hyperscale server repos and hyperscale like GNOME uh, are built on top of they have the proposed updates enabled and they have EPEL enabled, so they can make use of packages on either. I'm going to skip the demo because my laptop is being really fussy when like sharing and unsharing things. But yeah, like right now we have a GNOME terminal, we have we have GNOME papers, and not much else, but we can show that basically rebasing like a GNOME 48 on top of CentOS 10 and RHEL 10 is a safe thing to do. So yeah, right now we are not building this in CBS yet, but you can enable the copper and try to actually upgrade your system and it should work. It worked in Red Hat Summit as of 2 months ago, and CentOS should be stable, so hopefully this still works. So how do we do this, right? Like we as you can see, this is what's in copper today. We basically just build enough components to actually like get everything to install without without get without breaking anything in a stock CentOS installation. So we wait for Fedora to like release a new GNOME like every 6 months, and then we start a new copper repo. That way you can actually have stick to the old GNOME version if you want. Dogfood it and make sure everything is work. And then like once we think it's ready, like we can build everything in CBS, and basically at that point, like if you are using the official like hyperscale GNOME repo, you will be migrated to the new version. And then basically, yeah, like probably build it also for RHEL. So even if you're not on CentOS Stream, you can use an updated desktop with the caveat that you will not get paid support for it. We are working on this as part of hyperscale SIG for now, but wait for it. Like we probably will move it to a different SIG in the future. So why do we pick GNOME? Well, we need to start somewhere, and like GNOME is a default desktop on like a RHEL and CentOS Stream. Most of KDE is since KDE is not actually like in RHEL and CentOS Stream, except for Qt6. KDE is in a better place and actually get rebased already every 6 months, um, with some caveat that I will talk about in the future. So I mentioned earlier that EPEL is not allowed to replace stock component. So there is one issue in KDE and EPEL that cannot be fixed, in that there is no pin entry integration, because pin entry is in RHEL and CentOS Stream, and it's not built with KDE integration because KDE is not in RHEL and CentOS Stream. So we are looking at basically if we end up with a desktop SIG for CentOS, we definitely will basically also work on building enhanced packages that are needed to like improve the experience for KDE users. And how am I doing for time? Ooh, only 10 minutes. Went a bit too fast. Yeah, like do people have questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Hyperscale has a lot of backports and package updates, and it has its own kernel, but that's in a separate repository where other stuff doesn't depend on it. Is that right?
I think the kernel got split out in Hyperscale 10, and in Hyperscale 9, the kernel is in the experimental repo because we couldn't find it.
Right.
So yeah, like you can use the kernel separately from the rest of Hyperscale.
And
That's just a kernel.
okay, so I guess that answers my question, which was my question is how much of the rest of the hyperscale stuff the GNOME backports depend on, and in particular the kernel
Nothing.
is the hyperscale.
Yeah, like uh the way we set up the CBS repo and the copper is it only has the default CentOS stream and CentOS propose updates and EPEL enabled.
Oh,
So
okay.
it doesn't, yeah, like because the hyperscale repos are mostly like the kernel and, well, the kernel is a separate repo, systemd and like a lot of user space text-based like comments. There is nothing graphical in it. So like the idea, you can turn on the desktop without actually turning on like the rest of hyperscale, so you don't get all the latest stuff.
Okay, I wasn't sure if if maybe the latest GNOME depended on some like new systemd feature or something that we'd need a backport for. But
Not yet,
not yet.
thankfully.
Good.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Okay.
And hang on, let me see the chat. I think there are questions. Oh, Yakov's asking like about the pin entry thing. Yeah, we can do pin entry Apple. Sure. Like the from experience, working with Apple only packages is extremely painful sometimes. Not so much for packages that don't change often, but like for packages that do, keeping it, like up to date and like tracking the package that's in base CentOS is unnecessary churn, really. So I mean, like if you are already open to like using like an external repo anyway, then there are packages that in hyperscale. There is one package in hyperscale, for example, like oh god, what was that thing? IP tables, where we used to maintain it as IP tables EPEL in EPEL, and like it's a pain to like keep it up to date, especially since we mostly care about it on CentOS, but there are people using it on Alma, and like we have to make sure that EPEL 9 and EPEL 9 Max and like everything is like working. So yeah, Neil is saying in chat that you cannot do pin entry EPEL anyway, but I'm not sure. I mean, probably can. It's just like
You'd have to patch everything so that you'd switch
yes,
the
this is why we
binaries
don't want
and
to.
stuff. It's not worth it.
It's like FFmpeg probably, right? Like hey, like how do you make FFmpeg Libre and FFmpeg like full like coexist with each other?
With a lot of tricks. Like it would be easier if these integration things were with either different sub binaries or modules or whatever, DL open libraries or whatever. But pin entry, the difference between pin entry and rel and the pin entry in hyperscale main right now is that we link the KF6 K window system library framework into it. Since K window system doesn't exist in rel, it's not there. So anything that uses K window system to be able to correctly center the pin entry windows will like that's the thing. We use K window system to correctly interface with the compositor, and the way that it works for pin entry GNOME is that it interacts with Mutter through a private interface. And the way we do this in KDE is we offer a library interface instead. So it is not possible to ship a fixed pin entry in EPEL without conflicting with pin entry in rel, and
then it's against the guidelines.
And then it's against the rules.
Yeah.
So
okay. Right, because it's not designed to be like a pluggable. So oh well. Yep. That's actually the thing I'll be working on next. Like I'm kind of too busy to do like big stuff at the moment for the next few months, but let's build this thing in Copper and see like if we can do it in a safe way, and then like then we have enough rationale to actually like start a second SIG and say, hey, this is desktop stuff. Because one thing that we have a problem is that most hyperscale contributors mostly care about running things like in the like in a data center, and the set of people who are interested in desktop like have some overlap but not too much, and it will be weird to have like people having access to like you have people with access to ship updates to packages that they don't really care about, which is not really what we want. Yeah. Any other question? Otherwise, I think we should let the next person set up. Thank you, everyone.